Hello, everybody.
Hello! Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday tutorial. Hello. We hope you guys are doing great. And today we're here to talk a little bit about morning routines for skincare and also to do just a really simple look. So, kind of just like fresh, easy, feeling a little more awake, just that kind of a jam for us today. So I'm Amber.
Yes.
I will be answering your questions and getting through them in the comments. So if you have any questions as we go along, please ask. And most importantly, we have the wonderful Jené. Hurrah! Yay!
Hey, everybody, and welcome. Good morning. We're talking about morning routines today. It's not morning here, it's 1 o'clock, but I guess if you are a late riser, this could be your morning. Those were the days. I remember the days I'd sleep until noon back in, my teenage days or college days on the weekends or whatever. I guess if you live in Hawaii, it's morning for you. If anybody's
Yeah.
here from Hawaii, let us know. Good morning and aloha. I wish I was in Hawaii right now. That sounds beautiful and wonderful. Anyway, but whether or not it's morning where you are, we can still talk about it and we can still discuss what is part of your morning routine. How do you get ready? How do you prep yourself for the day mentally, physically? What's your routine like for getting ready in the mornings? We want to hear all about it. And we'll be talking a little bit about that too. And then I'm also going to be using our new skincare essentials for morning time, which is the day cream, the Vanishing Cream. And then I'm going to do just a simple, easy, fresh face makeup look, kind of like a no makeup look that is really easy to accomplish and just makes you feel fresh and ready and beautiful for your day. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hooray! I got myself a
Wonderful.
cup of coffee,
Yes.
which coffee for me, of course, is morning, but also like all day. I'm an all day coffee drinker.
Yeah, coffee goes until about 4, usually, or sometimes later, depending on the day.
Yeah,
But yeah,
same,
that's an
same.
all day for
Yes.
me as well. With this,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be talking a little bit about skincare routines, but we would love to hear before we went live today, we were talking a little bit about kind of regular morning routines and wondering because I don't have a ton of stuff I do every single day as a routine, but we would love to know your morning routines, especially if there's anything that really sets you up nicely for the day. If there's anything that really feels like prepares you the best way for the day. My morning routine used to be just waking up at the last possible second and then hurrying around. And so at least now I wake up with, multiple seconds to go and get my coffee and start my day a little more easily. But yeah, is coffee kind of the first thing you usually do, Janae?
Yeah, coffee is up there with one of the first things I do. See, now here's the thing. My morning routine has drastically changed since I had a child back in January. So now my morning routine really looks like getting around her morning routine, my daughter's morning routine. There was like a stage there for a while where I was waking up before she was for about an hour, where I had like an hour's
Oh,
time in the morning to myself. That was glorious. That only lasted like a month. Now she wakes up at 4 in the morning every day. Between 4 and 5, she wakes up. So that's when I wake up. And I, yeah, I have to get her ready for the day, try to wake up my brain. Coffee, I definitely stumble my way to the kitchen to get myself a cup of coffee as soon as I possibly can, because how else can I get anything done at 4 or 5 in the morning if I'm not caffeinated? That's really how I feel. And so I love that. And sometimes even just starting that process and smelling it and everything,
mhm.
wakes me up. And then she's ready to play as soon as she's awake. So it's playtime as I watch her play with her toys, and I wake myself up groggily to the sounds of, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or whatever it is that she wants to watch and listen to. So that's great. But in terms of getting my skin ready, we can talk a little bit more about that in a second. But what about you, Amber? What's one of the first things you do?
I mean, yeah, the first thing I do is look at my phone and think, boy, I wish I could go back to sleep. That's the very first thought every day. But then as my brain actually wakes up, yeah, I usually brush my teeth and take a shower and then go to make coffee. I usually don't eat breakfast until later, but coffee is a good signal that, the day is actually beginning and it's time to kind of refocus. I'm not great with doing stuff for myself first, or sometimes I'll exercise and then go to work. Not lately, but usually that's part of my plan. I'm not great with like, oh, I'll read in the morning or like take some time for myself. I kind of, once I get out of bed, it's kind of time to get started. So it's either exercise or coffee and then get to work. It's not
and then get to work.
revolutionary, but it works out pretty okay, I would say for me. But yeah, that's our
Yeah,
little ones. And if
awesome.
there's anything you guys do that's different and exciting, or if there's something you wish you could do every morning, I would love to hear that. But yes, on to the
I
kind
would
of
love to be
skincare
one of those
portion.
people that like gets up and does morning yoga. I would love to do that. It's something I've tried to do in the past. I don't know, especially now, it's really hard to do. But to those of you that that's your jam, I mean, good on you. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And in case you didn't notice, I've got my little mug here. This is from Walt Disney World, and it was from Christmas time at Walt Disney World. And when did we go? When did we go? Is that 2 years ago that we went around Christmas time? I want to say family trip was 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago, Christmas time. Oh, it was at Destination D. Oh yeah, Destination D. That was at Walt Disney World around holiday time. And these are like the ones you get in the resort so you can refill with stuff. And they have like a little sensor that you get like endless refills. But now I just use it as my coffee cup and it makes me really happy. And it's
Oh.
holiday time is approaching, so I pulled out the Christmas mugs. I love it. All right. Anywho, so, yes, let's get started. So, the first thing you're going to do when you wake up and you get your coffee or do whatever it is you're going to do and you get ready to do your face is make sure that you cleanse your face. So, wash your face, wash off whatever drool from the night you have from sleeping really hard or eye boogies or whatever you've got going on, night cream, all that stuff. Get it off your face nice and clean. This is a good time now after it's cleansed to use your toner to use anything like that. If you use a toner, if you use like witch hazel, something like that, do that now. Use your eye cream, that sort of deal. Then you're going to use your day cream for your moisturizer. So I have mine here. And for me, right now, so this what I actually did, because like I said, it's not actually morning here right now. It's 1 o'clock. So, but I knew I was going to do this today. So this morning I cleansed and I used my toner, but I didn't really moisturize and my skin is really feeling it now. It's super dry because it's getting cold here finally, which is awesome, but it's making it dry. So my skin is like, bleh. So I just used my little spoon and I just got some of the day cream and now I'm just going to apply it really gently. If you have time and you want to really make your morning special and luxurious, you can do facial massage with it. And I'm just going to do like a little bit. I'm not going to totally follow the instructions, but just do the bits that I feel I need to really moisturize and work in. Oh, that feels great already. It's so funny. My skin was seriously so dry. It felt bad. And I've like
Yeah.
waiting for the live in the last hour or two. I'm like, oh man, my skin, it just doesn't feel good on my face. I'm like, just gotta wait. I'm about to moisturize on camera. So my skin will thank me. And it's now my skin's like,
Yeah. I know. My skin feels like a drying apple, like when you would make those apple heads at Halloween that then like that's what my face feels like if I don't put moisturizer on.
apple
Immediately I'm just
heads.
like turning to dust.
Oh my
An
gosh. Oh, but
odd
this feels really
analogy
good.
there.
I love the day
Oh,
cream. It feels so nice. It feels so, so nice. Super hydrating on the skin, super moisturizing. It's not sticky, it's not
no.
slimy. It's just really like luxurious and very, very hydrating, instantly hydrating. And I love it. I think it feels so great.
And I've been
What about you,
using,
Amber?
so I can't really show this on camera. It doesn't really read, but I've been using, we got to try out the day cream a while ago, but then I've been using, the actual thing of it, that we just got. And I've been using it every day for 2 weeks, really, literally every day. And you can't really tell, but it's like hardly made a dent in it after 2 weeks. Again, it's hard to see that in my camera, but So you just have to trust me. But you would never imagine I've had 2 weeks every day, and my skin is dry all the time, and it's even more so now. So I even use a
Yeah,
little
me
tiny
too.
bit
Barely
more.
anything.
And
Barely,
so
barely
it really
anything.
lasts a long, long time. And it helps, yeah, so much because wherever you are, as the heaters and stuff start going in your homes or apartments, that also just dries out the air. So unless you're in Hawaii or Florida, maybe, uh, the air is going to be dried out so much more starting now, and this just adds such a nice, just such a nice kind of refreshing sort of moisturization. And then there was one thing, a question we got a few times on Instagram actually about the day cream and SPF. So the day cream doesn't have any SPF in it, but that's because Gabriella, she didn't want like she told in her last video that every SPF breaks her face out in a moisturizer. Everyone she's tried of anything. And so she just didn't want to add those ingredients that are more potentially irritating to the skin. So we do recommend using an SPF if you're going outside, of course, but that's just the reason she didn't include it because she wanted it to be as gentle as possible. And you also can control the amount of SPF you want to use. So don't mix your SPF with the day cream. Just put the day cream on, let it set, kind of just as long as we've been talking now, maybe even less. And then just put a little bit of your SPF on and you're totally good to go. But yeah, there's a little thing I wanted to bring up because you had that question on Instagram a whole bunch this week. Your skin looks so
Perfect. Yes.
lovely, Jené.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I did that. So next I'm moving on to Vanishing Cream. I have that here too. Gotta love the Vanishing Cream. And if you missed it, we did a whole video just on this cream. Gosh, when was that? Last week? The week before? I don't remember, but we
Yeah, I
just
think the week
recently did one.
before.
So go take a look. And it's really, really awesome to use as a primer. It's also added moisture. So, like, if your skin isn't as dry, like maybe your skin even verges on oily or something like that, and you're worried about too much moisturization, go lighter on your day cream and do still the regular amount of vanishing cream. There's moisture in the vanishing cream as well. So it really helps um, to keep that skin like moisture balanced. But what's also great is that Vanishing Cream is a primer, which again, we kind of talked about before in our other video. So what it's going to do is it's going to give the skin a really nice surface for applying the makeup right onto it. And the makeup is going to, you know, it's like priming your canvas is kind of what we've mentioned before. So the makeup's going to set really beautifully on top of that, and it's going to give you a matte finish as well. So I think you can probably already tell after the day cream, I looked a little bit dewy, but now after the vanishing cream, as it absorbs, which I'm going to just sort of lightly pat to make sure it absorbs, it's giving me more of a matte finish, which is my preferred finish. I love a matte finish. I really love it. I always want a matte finish. That's just me though. I don't know. I love it. I think it looks really nice. Um,
And we
and
had
so
a
that's going to help with that.
question. Yeah. And Janae, we had a question from Ashley. What's your typical skin like? Do you have combo skin or dry skin, even outside of the kind of drier weather?
Yeah, I definitely have combination skin. So my skin tends to just do whatever it wants. Like the struggle's so real. My combination skin, there are parts that are dry, there are parts that are oily. And if it gets too dry, it's going to overproduce and become too oily because it was too dry. And so sometimes it's just so frustrating because things will suck all the moisture out and then I'll get even oilier because like I was too dry and then my skin's just so unhappy, or I'm putting too much oil on and then my skin reacts the opposite. Again, it's just like, and sometimes some people assume that they're oily but they're actually dry, and that's what's really happening is that your skin is like overreacting to the dryness. It's so complicated, but sometimes that's what our skin is actually doing. Combination skin, I think it's pretty common though. I think a lot of us deal with that. And I have found that the vanishing cream and the day cream have been fabulous for my combination skin. I'm not having to worry about drier patches on my face anywhere, especially in those areas where I tend to get drier, like around here or whatever. And I'm not getting like oily. I'm not getting shiny, oily throughout the day. Not at all. So that's been really good for me.
Yeah. And Gabriella says you can even, if you have oilier skin or oilier places, if you want to not use day cream there and just use the vanishing cream or vice versa as you prefer, that's another easy way to do it. Or even with night cream, if you don't get as dry, you can put it just where there's dryness and then leave the rest of your skin as it is. So there's kind of ways to work it no matter what. And my skin is just plain old dry for the most part. That's really how I roll, just dry all the time, which is great because this does make it easier. And I do tend to use a little bit, I'd say a little bit more day cream and vanishing cream than maybe average, simply because my skin is just dying for moisture at all times. So that's kind of the only difference for me, rather than how Jené would use it, probably.
Sure.
Yeah. And we had a question about
All
cream
right.
rouge, which we'll kind of get to in just a second. So Janae's going to actually use the cream rouge. So Catherine,
Yes,
just
I
hang
am.
on just a bit, and we'll talk more about that later. I just wanted to get that out there to make sure Catherine knew we are going to get to her question soon. Cool.
Well,
All
what is
right.
it?
That looks.
Because maybe
Oh,
we'll
sorry.
go ahead and jump right in. What is that
Oh,
cream rouge
great.
question?
Sorry. She just says, which color is the
Oh, it's
best
fine.
for a medium neutral skin tone? That is her question.
Oh, medium neutral skin tone. Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
with
What
that,
color is your hair? What are you like? What lipsticks do you like to wear? Like what shades of
yeah.
lipstick? That might help. Because depending on your how warm or cool you are, might help. I mean, I honestly firmly believe you just can't go wrong with any of the shades. Like they all look really beautiful on everybody. But of course, preference plays a part in it, and matching it with your lipstick or something
Sure.
like that is also going to play a part in it. So let us know. I'm going to use crimson today, and I am just putting some right onto my finger here, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply it onto the cheek. So I just did vanishing cream. That's the last step I did. Now I'm doing cream rouge right on top of that. That's what I'm doing next. And I'm going to really give myself a nice rosy cheek, just sort of blot it on. This looks silly at first, but then we'll work it in. I promise. Don't you worry.
And it does on your fingertip, the cream rouge just looks so bright, just like this will never look natural. And
Yeah.
then as you work it in, it just so beautifully blends into your skin. And that's kind of the thing that's so cool about it, because there's no base to the cream rouge. It's just the color of the rouge and then, the natural oils to make it worse. There's no like white base or pink base, nothing like that. So because of
Right.
that, the color payoff is very, very strong. So no matter your skin tone, you'll be able to really see that payoff. And then it also still lets a
Exactly.
little bit of your own skin through, which gives it that magical kind of like melding into your skin tone kind of a feel. Um, so
Yes.
a lot of them really work. Yay. Because I wouldn't think that apricot would work for me at all, because it's a little orangey and stuff like that. But it looks so
But it
nice
does.
and very, very natural. So
Oh,
all of them are good.
I
I
love
would say,
apricot. That one's so cute.
and yeah, Catherine, let us know your hair color and stuff. I would say I'm leaning towards apricot, my gut feeling, I guess. But as you can see here, crimson is also, it's that like really bright flush. Um, Also, just on the podcast, Chris Malone is a makeup artist on Gabrielle's podcast. He's a makeup artist for Saturday Night Live and other shows, and he said he used the Crimson Rouge on the show Dickinson with Steinfeld. Sorry, she used the show there because they have to do a really, really natural looking flush. So we put just a little bit on her cheeks and then the makeup over it to give a really, truly like no makeup kind of flush. And they used that for the whole show for her, and it was very beautiful. Yay.
And I
Okay,
just put it
Kath.
on my
Yeah.
lips.
That's so pretty. Catherine says she has brown hair and usually wears chocolate kiss or dusty rose.
Ooh, okay. When I wear chocolate kiss, I like to pair it with apricot. When I wear dusty rose, I like to pair it with crimson.
Okay.
Um, to me, those are good pairings because the Dusty Rose, this one's crimson, and Dusty Rose is like, got pinky and almost a little bit like purple to it. Not a lot, just a little, right? It's like a mauve color. So it really goes nicely with this crimson, which is pink but not too pink. Um, and then Dusty Rose, or what do I say? Chocolate Kiss is like terracotta, so it has a warmth to it. And apricot also has that warmth to it as well. So, but you can also mix and match. Those that's not a hard and fast rule. Like they will go with each other. But that's just what I would do if it were me. Those are the kinds I would pair together. But yes, like Amber said, these don't have like an actual base. There's no like white base or yellow base or red base or anything like that. The base is neutral and translucent, and it's just the pigment that goes on to let your own skin tone shine right through it, through the color, match with the color, and really look naturally blushed on you. So no matter what your skin tone is, there's none of the cream rouges that we're going to be like, oh, don't do that one. That one won't work for you or something. That's not the case. They're all going to work. So really, like I said, it's up to what colors you like to wear best, what colors you feel flatter you more. And yeah, when you wear those lipsticks, whatever colors you tend to not, be drawn to, that can kind of help as well. So that's my like little 2 bits there on that. But what do you think, Amber?
Yeah. No, I agree. And then Catherine said also she thinks crimson is beautiful and afraid it's too bright. And remember with this, we tend to put on a little more blush than normal for the camera, just for these videos. Also because we want to really show you guys the color more strongly. So we're
Mm-hmm.
always putting on a little bit more than you need to in real life.
Yeah.
So you can
And
like honestly just touch it and then put it on your cheeks and start there, and it'll give you less of a bright kind of coloring if you're worried about that.
I'm actually putting on powder now on top of it. So that
Oh,
was part of my decision as well to go a little heavy on the blush because now look, now that I put a powder over the top, let me put some on my eye as well. See how that just blends in really
yeah.
nicely? It looks totally different. So, and you don't have to do that. You can put on just a little bit and not put on any powder, but I
But
purposely
that
went
looks
heavy
so
on the blush,
different.
applied it all over. Yeah, it looks so different, right? And then
Yeah,
knowing that I was going to put on a little powder afterward.
that's so cool. And
Thank
yeah, you
you.
can
And I,
blend
like I said, I
the.
applied it right to my lips as well.
Hmm.
I am going to be, that's going to help with this look today. That's like fresh face, kind of no makeup. Is any of the cream rouges you can also wear on your lips, and it looks really nice and really natural, and just kind of like a natural little color flush to the lips, almost like when you get cold outside and the tip of
Hmm.
your nose gets a little pink and your cheeks and your lips, everything gets a little pink because you're cold. That's kind of what it looks like to me. But
Yeah,
um,
crimson is
but then it's there
definitely
no matter what.
the cold winter winds look for sure. I feel like apricot's a little more like, oh, I've been in the sun. I'm not sunburned, but like, oh, I just came out of a warm day. And poppy is very like neutral. Um, it blends in. I tried poppy one time and I didn't like the color at first as much as I thought. I was so surprised. And then once I blended it in, it just almost then looks like you just naturally have more sculpted cheekbones, was kind of what it reminded me of. So
Oh,
if you want more of the
love
color kind of
that.
payoff, I'd try apricot or crimson. And if you want more of the like, it kind of just blends in but adds dimension, then I would try poppy. Which powder
There
were
you
you
go.
just
I'm
using
applying a
there?
little bit. Oh, so I was using one of the cashmere powders just now. But if you have a translucent powder, like for instance the Lucy powder that we recently just had, that one works great too, and it gives you a beautiful finish. The great thing that I love about the Vanishing Cream as well is no matter if you're using powder, liquid foundation, concealer, or anything in between that, it's gonna adhere really nicely to the Vanishing Cream to give you a really gorgeous finish. And hopefully you can see that it did exactly that.
Yeah.
It really performed and helped my makeup perform as well too, using the Vanishing Cream as a primer. And then what I just did right now is I used the Club Babaloo palette, and I used just that like cream color, that matte cream color
Mhm.
on my eyes, and then I just went over my eyelids with that. It's very subtle, But if you have any, like, I don't want to use the word discoloration, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Well,
If
to
you
soften
just want
their,
to even it out, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, your eyelids tend to be
Yeah.
just slightly a different color than, or a little bit darker than the rest of your skin. If you're just looking to get it to match, that can kind of
To
help
match,
do that.
exactly. And like
Hmm.
for me, I have a lot of times you can kind of see the veins in my eyelids sometimes. So they go a little bit blue, just naturally like bluer on my eyes. So I like to put on like a neutral shadow, like that kind of color in order to do that. And then what I'm gonna do next is just use a tiny light bit of brown shadow for the crease, but go really, really light because we're trying to make this look super duper natural, but this will just help add dimension. Just go up there on the brow bone, kind of, in the crease area, just a hint of dark brown shadow. See how subtle that was?
Hmm.
That subtle difference? That's
Yeah,
it.
but you can
That's
see the
all we're doing.
difference.
Oops,
Oh, so cool.
exactly. Oops,
Um,
I went a little heavy there.
I had a question from
Blend it out, blend
Lisa
it out.
for liquid foundation. Would you apply blush after the foundation? You could do it either way. You could actually do the same technique where you put the blush on first and the foundation lightly over it to get a very natural look, very subtle natural look. Or, yeah, you can absolutely do the opposite. For a liquid, you can put it over the liquid and it'll blend in really nicely. So yeah, I'd only put it on first if you want that very natural kind of look.
Mm-hmm. When I do liquid foundation, I actually do that first and then I do the cream rouge on top.
Hmm.
And then I finish with like a translucent powder just to set it. But again, yeah, like Amber said, it's kind of depends on A, your preference, and B, the look that you're going for. So yeah, up to you. You can do it either way. That's one of the things I love about Cream Rouge. It is so versatile. It's totally like goof proof. You can't mess it up, even if you
Yeah.
don't think you know a single thing about applying your makeup. It's so easy. You literally do it with your fingertips. And if you get too much, you just keep blending it, blending it, blending it, and then you put a little powder on top. You're good to go. I'm gonna use brown cake now to fill in my brows.
And Michaela had a fun question, thinking about Thanksgiving. If you are in America like us, Thanksgiving's coming up. It's around the corner already. Michaela asked, "What are your favorite Thanksgiving dishes?" She likes apple, pumpkin, and chocolate pie. I like they're all pies, Michaela. Are all your
I was
favorite?
about to be
What's your?
like, pie. Pie is the answer. I love it. I like stuffing. I'm a big stuffing fan.
Yes, me too. I love stuffing. I love mashed potatoes as well, but it seems it's you just have to have stuffing. You just have to for me.
You
Otherwise,
do.
otherwise it doesn't feel
And I
right.
think
I'm not very adventurous for
right. And
Thanksgiving, I'll say. Pretty plain
oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah,
for
I'm
foods.
pretty traditional for foods, pretty traditional for me too. And I think the thing that I like most about stuffing too is that it really feels special because you don't eat that like the rest of the year round. At least we don't. It's like
Yeah.
only Thanksgiving that you eat stuffing. Sometimes Christmas. I think we've had stuffing on Christmas before.
Yeah.
If we do a turkey for Christmas, um but yeah, usually stuffing is like purely a Thanksgiving food. So I always get really excited.
Yeah. Jené asked if there would be foundations coming in the future. And right now we don't have any plans for any new
Jené, there's
foundations.
another Jené.
I think so. It's spelled differently. Jené Twilight is her. It's Janae Twilight. So yes, I should
Yeah,
have
that is
first
that
led
is
with
another way to spell Janae.
name
Hi,
twins, first of all.
name twins. So cool. It's
But
awesome.
yes, I'm sure
Hi,
you're like, why are
Janae
you
from
asking me this
Janae.
question,
I
Amber?
was confused. I was like, Janae asked, what did I ask? No. Anyway, but what was the question? I'm so sorry. I got
No, that's okay.
distracted.
That's okay. No, to asking about foundations in the future. So we don't have plans for any new foundations. We will be having some powders coming out soon, but they're going to be starting with translucent powders. So we don't have plans to bring back the cashmere powders at the moment or the stick foundations or new liquid foundations, but that never means never. It's just not in the immediate kind of plans. Oh, she says that's her middle name. Jené's her middle name. Well, still very cool.
Oh, that is still cool. We can still be named twins, okay? I still feel connected to you. Jené is a
On
rare
Tuesdays, yeah.
name. It's not very common.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you did you have a hard time finding like name pencils or whatever with your name on, there's always like the license plates with your name on it and pencils. Probably not a lot
Never,
of Janae's.
never find, no, never. Not even spelled a different way. Nothing. There's never a Jené on any of those little souvenir things. And as a kid, that kind of bummed me out because I feel like those were really, really popular when I was a kid. And everybody had the keychains that, yeah, or the magnets or whatever that had their name
Hmm.
on it. And I was like, they never have mine. But I always looked anyway, always looked, tried to find it, could never
One
find it.
day.
But now I'm okay with that. I like the
Yeah.
uniqueness of my name. I do. I do like that. Um, okay, my brows, I feel like I didn't do that great of a job on them today for some reason. I like
Oh,
had to go back and fix them. I feel like they just got messy. I don't know. Must be the coffee.
okay.
Must be the, I don't know. But they work. I did it. They look good. I love using brown cake to fill in my brows. And normally with a steadier hand, I could really make them look really good. They don't look bad though. I did it. I filled them in. Brown cake, excellent for that. So next I'm going to skip the eyeliner stage and not do any of that today, but I'm going to go ahead and use black cake now for my lashes and just give it a really good, like heavier coat at the base of the lash, like right in the base, just going to really wiggle that in and go back over a few times. That way they look a lot thicker and then it's going to really give the appearance of like liner without liner, if that makes sense, a thicker
Hmm.
lash. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that should be the final step of this look actually, because I already did my lips with the cream rouge. So this is a super easy look, super easy, fresh face. This is great for like exactly like we said, a morning routine. Just need to throw a little bit of makeup on, and then you're ready for your day.
Yeah. There's some other people with the same predicament of never finding their name tags. Michaela, my sister, Michaela, in the chat, hello. My sister's name, Michaela, is spelled a different way, and she could never find it either. That one never had tags. And Janae's first name is Tahira. I hope I said that right. That's a beautiful name. And yeah, you should.
That's
I
beautiful.
just want you guys to all have cool nameplates now. Send out everybody
Thank you.
keychains with their cool names. Abigail had an
Hey, you know
interesting
what?
question. Oh yeah.
Oh, Oh, I
Yeah,
was
go
just gonna say we live in like the Etsy world now where everything can be customized and personalized. So I can get myself something with my name on
Yes.
it. Just I totally can do it now, which is great. But what were you
Yeah.
gonna say? What does Abigail have to say?
Abigail asked, "What's the best makeup book you recommend?" Which is super
Ooh,
interesting question. I mean, I love Gabriella's book, which is about the history of makeup, the classic beauty book. So that's, well, it's about makeup application too. It's really cool and it shows you, face plates with the colors and ways makeup were used in the different decades of the 20th century. So that's really cool. And there's a lot of insight into the history of it. So I very legitimately love that book. And there's,
me
I get
too.
to read a bunch of old kind of makeup manuals and stuff here. So that's always interesting to see manuals from the 50s and 60s and even the 20s and 30s, just to see kind of how makeup has changed and stuff like that. So those are the ones that I like the most. Are there any makeup books that you like, Janae?
I mean, I had a feeling we would both say Gabriella's book, and not just
Yes.
because like we have to or something. It's honest to goodness, like such a great book. It's beautiful. It's just a gorgeous book. I actually use it as a coffee table book in my home. And people, when people come over, well, they don't anymore, but when people used to come over and see it, it was always fascinating to everybody because the images in it are gorgeous. The historical information is so interesting. And yeah, there are face charts in it that show you how to get like different decade specific looks, which is so fun. So it's super useful. It's like a textbook that's also beautiful. It's like a
Yeah.
textbook, coffee table book combined, but all about makeup and history, which is so, so cool. So I have to say that's my favorite. And honestly, I don't know if I can even really think of many other makeup books per se.
Yeah.
Um, I just love that. I just love that one so much. And I also, hot tip, great Christmas present. If you're holiday shopping, anybody who likes history, makeup, anything like that, like Gabriella's book. And if you can buy it, I know you can buy it on Amazon, which is great, but you can also, if you buy it directly from our site, you get a signed copy. You get an autographed
Yeah.
copy, which the ones on Amazon are not autographed, but the ones from our website are hand signed by Gabriella, and that makes it even specialer for a gift. So that's like such a good one to recommend for yourself or for somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. We did have Jessica says that the keychain thing is really overrated. Having a unique name is much more interesting. So I love this whole, I don't know why I'm so enamored of this. Because my name's totally normal, Amber. There's always Ambers, but I ended up not getting anything with my name on it. It's one of those things I think you want when you can't have it, and when you can, it's not really that big of a deal. At
Mm-hmm,
least as a
mm-hmm.
kid, that's kind of how I was. Um, Mushy Wallbridge asks, will Victory Red and Forever Red be coming back in stock soon? Yes, those
Yes.
orders are on their way back, so they'll be back as soon as they can. Like as you've seen with lots of our stuff this year, things just are moving more slowly than normal because of COVID. So things are just going a little more slowly than we normally would like, but those refills are, essentially on their way. So they will be back soon. And I'm so glad you want to try those colors. They're great.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
And
they're
when
both
they
such
are back
such
in
good ones.
stock, you will, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, ooh, I hope I'm not mistaken. I believe you can go on our website and go to the product and ask to be notified. I think. I'm pretty sure you can
I
do
think
that.
so. I'll
If
double
I just
check that.
made that up, I double check. I'm pretty sure
I'll
you can do
double
that.
check it right
If
now.
you can do that, you'll get an email. You'll get an email as soon as it's in stock. So you'll be like one of the first people to know and you can grab it right away, which is exciting. But I'm like 99% sure that that's a feature that we have on our website.
Yes, yeah, it's a new thing. So yeah, you'll go and it says out of stock and it says we'll notify you when this product becomes available. And you just enter your email and click notify me, and then that's exactly what we'll do. So yeah, that's a super cool brand, like a brand new feature we have. And a great way, yeah, to get
Yeah, heard it here
on
first.
the Yay. That's so beautiful, Janae. And it does like it just brightens
Thank you.
everything up. You don't look made up, but it just makes, I mean, your like skin and everything looks so gorgeous anyway. I mean, you did look perfectly beautiful, nothing on. But it's just if you want just a little bit more that kind of brighter look, and especially when you're on video, if you have to be on video calls all day, I will say sometimes just having some lipstick and like mascara, it just makes you feel a
Big
little
difference.
more bright and awake, and then you can just admire yourself in the tiny box of the window
Yeah.
where you're seeing yourself. Not that I do that. But yes, I highly recommend that for those meetings or when you just want something really simple. It's so pretty. Yay.
Thank
And
you.
crimson
Yeah,
looks great.
oh, thanks. Oh, yes. I love it. And you know what's so funny is for a long time, I was someone who would just skip blush and just didn't do it. Didn't really think about it. But now I never skip blush because I feel like adding blush, rouge, it just makes you look more alive. Like it brings the life in your face. It brightens it up. It
Mhm.
makes you look happier. It makes you look like, yeah, just warmer. It brings everything together. So I think it's
Yeah.
crucial. And especially like Amber said, like if you have to be on a video call, I think that rouge makes you look more glowing on camera with other people.
Yeah.
So even if that's the only thing that you can do, cream rouge is a great one for that. Just cheeks, lips, done. One thing, done.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. Let's see. You again won't be able to see anything. My little twist of today was I did use the brown cake mascara as eyeshadow, which I don't think you can very much see, but I used it as eyeshadow where you just kind of painted it on and then brushed it out with my fingers. So it's very light and a
Beautiful.
very natural kind of a look. And yeah, and I'm wearing portrait pink. So on me, portrait pink is a very, very almost a nude kind of color. But again, I'm
It's gorgeous.
very pale. So that's for me. For everybody else, it's a very lovely pale pink kind of tone. But it's a little more neutral nude-ish than I think sometimes people picture it to be. So just as an example here, for sure.
I love it.
Lovely. I was just seeing if we had any more questions. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I love these little chats we get into when it comes to who eats stuffing and who calls it dressing and all those conversations.
Yeah,
Super fun.
dressing. I never call it that.
Yeah, we talked in the South. We had a commenter saying in the South we call it dressing, of course. And then, oh, one real quick thing. Have you tried the Purple Cake Mascara and Sinestral Wing? You might be asking the other people on the chat, so feel free for everybody to answer. We do have a number of videos with the purple cake if you want to go back and see what it looks like on different, but purple is super fun and it's on lashes, it's very dark, so it's almost a black, but with that little bit of color. And then you can adjust the color as you like for liner, or again, you can use it as eyeshadow like I did for the brown cake here. So you can look back at those if you want more examples, and we might do a purple cake thing again in the future. I'm sure we will. So we will keep that in mind for the future for sure. Yay! So, Jené, you look beautiful as always. Thank you guys so much for sharing your morning routines and having this fun chat. And we will be back next week with more fun and more wonderful tutorials. And until then, bye. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you so much.